Welcome to Spring Point Archives. Crossing the Atlantic for America in 1851. From the Journals of William Wilson. I embarked on board the Vanguard at Liverpool, England on March 16, 1851. The Vanguard was an American sailing ship of 3,000 tons with 24 officers and 400 passengers. It was the Black Star Line of America and was one of at least 4 ships making trips from Liverpool to New York. I tell you that there was some fun that night we boarded her in the dark. Not a light was allowed. Some were fiddling and dancing, some were praying to God for a safe passage across the ocean, and children were screaming. My wife and I, with our 4 children, ages 6 years to 3 months, were of a group of 150 to do stonemason work in America. They built a board partition in steerage to separate our 150. We had brought some food with us to cook on the steerage galley. The coal stove would hold about 40 tins from 1 quart to 1 gallon that each would bring to be cooked. One day we had a heavy storm from the east which blew away some of our sails. So for 1 day and night we could not get anything cooked. The next day all wanted food cooked first. One passenger complained and wanted his rice cooked more. After the second cooking he complained more. Then the cook took the hot rice and poured it over the complainer's head. The captain did not punish the cook. The ship provided us with some food that was mostly not good. One day one of the younger sailors was larking with one of the passengers' girls. The second mate kicked the sailor. The sailor turned sharp around and struck the mate between the eyes and knocked him flat on the deck. Later, the captain ordered the sailor to be tied to the rigging with feet off the deck. The mate was to give him 25 lashes. At the time the lashing was to begin, about 50 passengers surged forward to stop the lashing. The captain drew his revolver. The 50 said, "Shoot us all." The captain quieted down. The next day the sailor was back on his watch. We made good headway until we came upon the banks of Newfoundland. Then there was not a breeze to fill our sails for 2 nights and 1 day. Finally, after 27 days, we approached New York Harbor. The captain paid a pilot boat $50 to help us into the dock. The health officer came aboard. 2 of them roped off all the passengers and let them come through 2 by 2. If they saw one with a delicate face, they dropped the line and examined the tongue. We were lucky all of our passengers passed. Some boats would have a scourge of cholera. Often those boats were sent north into the mouth of the St. Lawrence River until the epidemic had passed. But we had arrived at Peck's Slip on the East River, New York. This was April 14, 1851, after a passage of 27 days. 4 families had to stay in an old deserted sail loft for a time. My wife was sick with ship fever, and our baby died. Finally, we reached the quarries at Middletown, Connecticut. 1 old woman died on this voyage. The sailors sewed her in a sack made of sailcloth. They laid her on a board and buried her at sea. Thanks for watching.